And we to Wild.
Tawaf.
Yep, yep.
Khan. Okay, Khan. Well, of course, I want to start off by saying, call hello.
Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Kakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace and shalom to the Akim out there and the elect. Of course, that's the men, women, and children. Selected to make it out of here for the coming destruction. Who we do this work and truth for. We do all things for the elect's sake, you know. Coming at you with another video again. Basically, the title they will lie.
Yep.
They will lie about the understanding of Romans 13. All right, and this is something that we once upon a time have brought up in the past when our apostles were on down. How that Romans 13 is going to be used, all right, and a false understanding of Romans 13 is going to be used to trick the people, especially those that go to church and things of nature, to what? To follow the government. Okay? All right, you got to beware of this because they're going to do this again and telling their members to what? Take the vaccine or take the mark of the beast. And they're going to do things like jump to Romans 13 and say, hey, it's in the scriptures, therefore you must do it. But they don't understand Romans 13, so without further ado, let me get that.
Let me get it for you.
Baruch Shah.
Yeah. This is Romans 13. So at the top here. Romans 13 and 1, it says, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
It says, let every soul be subject to under the higher powers, which we are right now. We're subject or put under the control of what? Of Esau in America, all right, or the respective places that Jacob scattered on throughout the globe, all right. Why? Because what? This is the punishment from the Most High, all right. So we ought to be subject to it, all right.
It says, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High.
Yeah, there's no power but the Most High. All right, the powers that be or are ordained, or another way you can say that, or ordered, or set up, okay, of the Most High. All right, so the reason why they're in power right now, because remember, is of the Most High. So guess what? We can't go against that power that's been set up of the Most High. All right, where's that in Samuel? You set up one. Let me see.
Set it down one,
Put up another.
2 and 6. Yeah, First Samuel.
You want me to get it?
I got it here. It says 1 Samuel 2 and 6. It says, the Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up.
Yeah, he bringeth low and lifteth up. That's also talking about in rulership. All right, at one point, the so-called white man was low. All right, he was low during the Dark Ages, right? And then guess what? He brought him up during the time of the Renaissance. Okay, we're low right now, and guess what? The Lord is going to bring us up. Okay, and according to what is written, said we're going to be in our kingdom. Okay, all right.
It says, he raises up the poor out of the dust and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he hath set the world upon them. And there's another scripture here in Daniel where it talks about, Daniel 5 and 21. Basically, it says he causes craft to prosper, basically. Through his policies, he causes craft to prosper.
If I may, this is Daniel 2 and verse 20. It says, Daniel answered and said, blessed be the name of God forever and ever, of the name of Yahweh Shem Shah, okay? Forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. All right. So guess what? He setteth up kings. He removes kings. All right. He set up the so-called white man. Guess what? He's going to remove the so-called white man. All right. All right. So guess what? Right now, under the powers that be, we ought to be subject to that. We ought to do what we can. But guess what? When it comes to what? Disobeying the Heavenly Father, we're not going to do that.
Right.
There's a fine line between following powers that be and disrespecting or making the Heavenly Father upset. It's a fine line. For example, I want to give an example on that. Like they're telling us right now in the D.C. and Maryland area, Virginia not so much yet, but the D.C. and the Maryland area, that starting April 15th, that we ought to go around and wear a mask, a face mask, to
Mhm.
even go into a store.
Yeah, these stores around here where I live at, you can't go in any of these stores unless you have a mask on.
hmm So they already put that mandate out, all right, that you have to have a face mask to even go into the store. That's not coming just from these particular stores, okay? That's coming from higher ups. Why? Because what's Larry Hogan,
Mhm.
Larry Hogan,
Governor.
Governor Larry Hogan,
Yeah.
Mayor Muriel Bowser, these type of people signed off on these things.
Mhm.
So we have to what? We have to abide by it. But when it comes to what, taking the vaccine or taking the RFID chip, when it comes, we're not doing that.
Right.
You see why? Because the Heavenly Father said not to do that.
Yeah.
You see, it's a difference, all right?
Precept Daniel 8:25. It
Uh-huh.
says, "And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand,
Mhm.
and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
Mhm.
And he shall stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand."
Mhm.
So you have a lot of people, you're going to try and go listen to these powers that be of this world,
Mhm.
but this power is about to be broken by the
Yep.
hand of Yahweh Shai. So that means what? If your hand is joined unto that hand, like the scripture says, the wicked shall not be unpunished. You're going to have to get the same judgment for listening to these powers that have been ordained on the left-hand side.
Mhm.
All right?
Wow, exactly when that power is about to be taken down, all right?
Yeah.
This is Luke 1 and this is Luke 1 and 51, because I went over this the other day and talking about trusting in the arm of the Lord. Okay, this is Luke 1 and verse 51. He hath shewed strength with his arm. He hath scattered the proud in the imagination of their hearts. He hath put, and we know that the proud is who today? The so-called white man. Okay, it says he hath put down the mighty from their seats and exalted them of low degree. All right. So why would you want to follow the ways of this world, man, the ways of the current society? Okay, when it's about to be, like Zaquan said, when it's about to be put down. All right. We're only following it in the sense of, you know, if there's certain rules we got to do, we have to do it. Like we gave that example about the face mask.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. About what? You can't park in a certain zone.
Right.
You got to keep your social distances. Yeah, we're doing that. But when it comes to the mark of the beast or the vaccine prior to the mark of the beast, we're not going to do that. Because the Heavenly Father told us not to do that. Point blank, period.
Yeah.
Right? This, can you go back to Romans
Yeah.
13? So I have a couple.
Mm-hmm. This is the book of Romans, chapter 13. It says, 13 and 1, it says,
Mhm.
"Let every soul be subject unto the high powers, for there is no power but the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation."
Yeah, and if you resist, if you call yourself coming up against the so-called white man with guns in your own method, guess what? You're going to be taken down. Okay? Because why? Once again, we have to serve our slavery. It's a difference. If you come against them, you're going to be what? You're going to be you're going to come to damnation. Okay? All right. You come against the current power that's set up. All right. We're supposed to come against it one way. That's spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
All right, not carnally. Okay. Continue to walk the shop.
It says, "For rulers are not a terror to good works,
Mm-hmm.
but to the evil.
Mm-hmm.
Wilt thou then..."
Because ultimately these rulers that are set up, what? They're what? To judge the evil. All right, the evil of our people. Because as long as we do good, we're good. Okay? The judgment that is going to come down in America is for the wicked of our nation.
Mm-hmm.
All right? That's what's going to happen. Remember, the righteous always survive in these different rulerships.
Yeah.
But it was the wicked of our nation that got put down. All right?
It says, "Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power?
Mm-hmm.
Do that which is good,
Mm-hmm.
and thou shalt have praise of the same.
Uh-huh.
For he is the minister of God to the Most High to thee for good.
Mhm.
But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid."
See that? If thou do that which is evil, be afraid, man. All right, if you're evil, then you got to be afraid of the power, man. You see, that's set up to destroy you. All right, go ahead.
It says, "For he beareth not the sword in vain,
Uh-huh.
for he is the minister of the Most High,
Mhm.
a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth
See
evil."
that?
That's where they start scaring Jake.
See? So these powers that's set up, all right, that's set up right now, they're to what? To come against the wicked of our people, ultimately. All right? But if we keep doing good, all right, following Yahweh Shem Shai, then we're going to be good. Even when that means defying the order of taking the mark of the beast or the vaccine, it's still doing good in the eyes of the Lord. But to the wicked, they got something to worry about. All right? But you'll have people coming up saying, guess what? Romans 13:1 means that you're supposed to listen to whatever the government's talking about, no matter what it is. And they're going to preach this to their congregations. I think the Trump administration, I can't find the article, but they had said it on a live show. They said they talked with like 400 black leaders. Okay? And you have to think in that if there's a black leader, they have to be talking about the church, some of the churches as well.
Yeah.
So they're going to be, they probably already discussed with these churches and the church leaders, look, you got to tell your congregation to do this, and people are going to follow it.
Yeah.
All right, with the false understanding of Romans 13. All right.
Here's a good precept. This is the brother Debar Kabash, Proverbs 1:10. It says, "My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not." Which is straight to the point. You know, because you're gonna have a lot of our people. Their minds are catered toward what Esau has to offer. Because Esau has so-called solutions that he's ready to give right away. But Yahweh Shema Shai wants us to wait on him to deliver us and to give us the right instructions. But our people, they're going to consent to these sinners and what have you. This is a real quick Lamentation 4:17. As for us, our eyes have yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
Yeah, this nation, this so-called white man, and what he has for us, it cannot save us. It will not deliver us. All right? What he has for us is actually your destruction.
Yeah.
You will be a part of that 7.5 billion that he's trying to get rid of.
Yeah.
All right? It's not to save you, it's to get rid of you.
Right.
All right? This is Exodus 23:2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. Neither shalt thou speak in the cause to decline after many to rest judgment. The main point, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. And evil will be taking the vaccine. We're not supposed to be making any cuttings in our flesh, period. Okay? That includes injections of vaccines. All right? And to include the RFID chip. All right? So we're not supposed to follow a multitude just because the multitude say, hey, you got to do this, man. You should do this. Forget that. What did the Heavenly Father say? All right? Okay, we get
Lot is a great example of not following the multitude to do evil. He dipped out of those 5 cities.
Yep.
All right.
The Bible chart, we get Daniel 6.
Yeah.
Bible chart.
Daniel 6. All right. Book of Daniel, chapter 6, and verse 1.
And Daniel was in the time of the Babylonian captivity, as well as the start of the Medes and Persians captivity, right?
Daniel 6:1, it says, "It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes, which should be over the whole kingdom, and over these 3 presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princes might give accounts unto them, and the king should have no damage. Then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes, because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king thought to set him over the whole realm. Then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could find no occasion nor fault, for as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him."
See, as much as he was faithful to who? Yahweh Shem Shai. Neither was there any error found in him. So he kept the ways of the Most High Yahweh Shem Shai. All right? And guess what? They couldn't find fault with him. You see? As long as we're doing what we have to by our Heavenly Father and Son through His Son, we're good.
Yeah, well, there's no shame.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you try to get fault, when fault is found with you with Esau and stuff, people feel ashamed. You know, they get upset. But when it comes to Heavenly Father, they don't care. Keep going, verse 5. Daniel 6:5, it says, "Then said these men, we shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his God."
See? You see? Except it be what? Found according to what? The fault between him and his God. So the only way, see, even other nations that have studied that, and they know that. The only way we can get at Israel truly is if what? If they're disobeying their God. But even under captivity, they can't really get to us if we're following Yahweh Shem Shai. You see that?
Yeah, so these leaders and stuff, they're gonna be lying to you like Nate, telling people to get the vaccine to push them further away from our power. You know, because that's the fault. As long as, like Judah said, as long as we're at fault with the Heavenly Father, these nations, they can do whatever they want.
Yep.
And you have our people, like in Maccabees, you had our own people that said they brought our own people over to the Greekest fashion. You know, it'll be other Israelites that rely on the scrolls, man, on the truth, just for gain. I had a precept. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 5, it says, "They were all ashamed of people that could not profit them, nor be in help nor profit, but a shame and also a reproach." And that's talking about Egypt, because when you read the top of this chapter, it talks about woe to the rebellious children that go down to Egypt for help, that add sin upon sin. You know, that's not your power. That the Lord has not set up Egypt to rule over us and guide us in a way of truth and understanding. All right, it's been the elders and apostles, a great millstone up under Yahweh Ba'ashim Hawashai here on earth. All right, and the fruit of that righteousness bears witness. You know?
That's right. That's right. And guess what? In the coming days, if we so get persecuted for not taking the vaccine and not taking the RFID chip, that's fine. Remember, it's thankworthy with the Heavenly Father to suffer for righteousness' sake. That's okay. You see? All right, Baba Shah, you can continue.
Daniel 6. Daniel 6 in verse 7. It says, verse 6, it says, "Then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king and said thus unto him, King Darius, live forever. All the presidents of the kingdom and governors and princes, the counselors and the captains have consulted together to establish a royal statute and to make a firm decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any god or power, of any power or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions."
See, so they made a decree that, look, Baba Shah, can you read that part again?
Yeah, it says, "And to make a firm decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days,
petition or prayer to any god or man for 30 days, except, what?
Save the king,
except for the king, for you, go ahead.
He shall be cast into the den of
You
lions."
shall be cast into the den of lions. So that was a mandate.
That's kind of what's going on right now. A lockdown, basically.
Yep.
You know, if you want to do anything, you know, you can, if you try to go any other way, aside from the ordinance set in place, they want to fine you or they want to lock you up.
Yep. Baba Shah.
Keep going. Verse Daniel 6 and 8. It says, "Now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing, that it be not changed, according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which altereth not." Wherefore King Darius signed the writing and the decree.
Keep going.
In verse 10, it says, "Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber towards Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees."
And to Jerusalem is what? Towards the what? The east, right? Jerusalem is towards the east. So he faced the east, all right?
It says, "And he kneeled upon his knee 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his power, and he did as he did before time."
Now see that? So even though that decree went out, he still faced the east and prayed to his God. See, we still reverence and service our power. You see? Regardless of the mandate that was pushed out, we still worshiped and obeyed our Heavenly Father. And that's what we're supposed to do. He didn't say, "Oh man, I guess I can't worship my power anymore."
Right.
No, because that was something the Heavenly Father made for us to do. All right, it's an ordinance for us to do, to worship our Heavenly Father. You see, that's what Daniel did, man. He defied that order and kept the law of Yahweh Shai, even though he was under captivity of the Medes and the Persians at that point. All right, and the other one, and you know, if you jump down, eventually what happened to him? He got cast into the lion's den. You see, he suffered for righteousness' sake.
All right, the last one for you.
Second Chronicles 35. Second Chronicles 35 and 19.
The Second Chronicles chapter 35 and verse 19. It says, "In the 18th year of the reign of Josiah was the Passover kept. After all this, when Josiah had prepared the temple, Necho, king of Egypt, came up to fight against Carchemish by Euphrates, and Josiah went out against him."
Now, of course, Pharaoh Necho was not, they wasn't ruling over Israel, but this is the fact that what? We're going to get into it. This is an example of what? He was set up, okay?
It says, "But he sent ambassadors to him, saying, What have I to do with thee, thou king of Judah.
Mhm.
I came not against thee this day, but against the house wherewith I have war. For the power commanded me to make haste, forbear thee from meddling with the Most High, who is with me.
Says so the Most High actually put a spirit on him to go up against what? The Assyrians at that time. Okay, the kings of Assyria. Go ahead.
It says, for the power commanded me to make haste, forbear thee from meddling with the Most High, who is with me, that he destroy thee not.
Right, so the Most High is with Esau right now in his kingdom. As far as what? He being in his rulership. So we can't come against Esau with guns and being carnal. Okay, go ahead.
It says, nevertheless, Josiah would not turn his face from him, but he disguised himself that he might fight with him, and hearkened not unto the words of Necho from the mouth of the power, and came to fight in the valley of Megiddo. And the archers shot at King Josiah, and the king said to his servants, have me away, for I am sore wounded. His servants therefore took him out of the chariot and put him in the second chariot that he had, and they brought him to Jerusalem. And he died and was buried in one of the sepulchres of his fathers, and all Judah, Jehoiada, and Jerusalem mourned for Josiah.
You see that, and just the point that King Josiah was a righteous king. He was a good king in Israel. But that one point he went up against a power that was set up from the Heavenly Father. And see, when he got in the way with that, when he meddled with that, it cost him his life. So we're not going to physically go out with guns. We're not going to, riot and do all that with Esau. We're going to continue to be spiritual.
Yeah.
You see? That's our ticket.
It's a good precept. Brother posted, Mayumya, Ibad, 2nd Ezra 15 and 3 through 4 says, fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
If I got one, this is from the brother Mayumya Ibad, Ephesians 6 and 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against all the wiles of the devil.
I got another one too. One of the hopeful few, 1 Kings 19 and 18. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, Yasha'Allah, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which have not kissed him.
See that?
This is a good precept.
And guess what? Like I went over in that the video the other day, there'll be more with the Most High than be with Esau.
Yeah.
See,
So why not obey our power?
There's angels around us right now. Like brothers had chariots fly up above them. Like camp.
Yeah, this past camp was intense. Every single cloud looked like a chariot.
See? So guess what? It's more with us than with them. So all we got to do is continue to worship our power like he said, and we're going to be good. All right? So when they come down saying you got to take this vaccine, or you got to take this RFID chip, you're going to lose your job, you're going to lose your life, you lose your family, that's fine. Let them say that. We got to worship our power and keep it moving. All right? And that's pretty much it, Zaquan.
Yep. Yeah, that's all I had to do, brother.
So with that, of course, I want to end by saying, call the Lord.
Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Kwakadash.
That's always to the elect. Hey, double shalom.
Okay, shalom. And to our elders and apostles, of course, that we learn the truth from.
That's right.
We're the real men that we're supposed to reverence and show double honors to and follow the powers up under of great millstone. All right, in these times in the English and the Hebrew, that would be God Woke Up. So, of course, double honors to you all. And all praise to you, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua. Shalom.
Shalom.
Gonna see it.